Good morning and welcome. We are talking about patience this week, and I'm going to look at it in the Vipassana tradition and in reflective meditation. And yesterday, we started talking about patience as a byproduct, not a discipline. In Theravada Buddhist tradition, patience, or the Pali word khanti, it's one of the 10 paramis or 10 perfections. So it has great value and it's often looked at in its perfected form. These are qualities that are cultivated over time and said to support awakening. And patience is often described as enduring difficulty without reacting. So enduring pain, difficulty, insult, discomfort, delay, delaying your anger, no aversion, no retaliation. And I think they are talking about the high ideal of this, the ideal. Yes, I see a few nods. Especially if we take this on as an expectation. If we expect ourselves to be this way, we may tend to manage our reactions, hold ourselves in, and tighten up, trying to be patient. At least I found myself doing that over time. So we're really looking at how does patience develop in reflective meditation and trying to articulate the way that it does. And to do that, I was thinking of the training that we're training ourselves to stay with our experience, not endure it. It may just be semantics, but I think there's something different about staying with our experience in meditation without trying to fix it, without trying to escape it, without trying to change it. And not that there's ever, not never, times that we would need to fix something, change it, or escape it in our lives or in meditation, but that our main practice is of allowing, receiving, befriending experience. And there's no directive even to get yourself calm or to get yourself patient. Those aren't really in our rules, though it's likely most of us have internalized those rules ourselves. I've told myself that many times. It's time to get calm. But it's a different practice to stay with the experience of not calm and see where that leads. So we have found over time through your telling us through our own experience that because we allow that experience to unfold in its own time, patience begins to arise within the experiences. And it's often subtle because we can't see it. It doesn't come alone, with a big capital P or with a neon light. So you might notice in your meditation when, a mood stays for a long time, or restlessness just doesn't go away, or the same stories keep repeating. Nothing interesting is happening. This is boring. No insights. Are you doing it right? You might be with that a lot of times in your meditation, and then something changes. Not because you made it change, but because the conditions changed. And I find that interesting in the teachings, because change, if you look at it as part of impermanence, how many times we're dealing with things that feel permanent or long lasting or reoccurring. And here's where, uh, patience is really about waiting for things to change, because often they don't change fast enough for us. We're waiting for those conditions to shift. So this teaching is important in the way that we are not in charge of the timeline of meditation. And I think this is something that, you get in small increments over your practice, that we're just not in charge of the way our meditation is going to go. We don't decide when insights come. We don't decide when our mind settles. We don't decide, when something resolves. It's really not our decision per se. Meditation unfolds in its own time. And the patience, as we see it, develops when you allow time to pass without interfering so much. So we're really asking, ourselves not to interfere so much. So I think that in this way, reflective meditation is not so different from life. Um, Letting our ordinary experience play out while we meditate and reflect. It means we'll have a fair amount of boring, confusing, difficult, in addition to pleasure, enjoyment, purpose, and meaning. So, in thinking about this morning, my mind went to the movie, a scene in the movie When Harry Met Sally. It's a 1980s rom-com. I've seen it way too many times. And Harry and Sally are sitting in a diner and they're having an ordinary meal, nothing special. But in the middle of their conversation, Sally suddenly demonstrates very convincingly what it's like to have an orgasm. And the whole restaurant turns to look at them. And they cut in the movie to an older woman at the next table who simply says, I'll have what she's having. And it's a really funny moment. But I also think it's revealing. We come to meditation wanting that meal that Sally's having, that peak experience, a special moment, insight, transformation. And we get some of those over time. Um, but most of the time, what actually happens is we're just having an ordinary meal. And patience in this practice is willing to stay with, the meal that we have today long enough, long enough to be curious about it and explore what's already happening there. Ah, I'm done a little early this morning. I'll end here. We'll have a few more minutes for our meditation together. And just going to change my view and get my